Hey everyone, I'm Dr. Retro and this is my Neo Geo Big Find video. This is a whole collection of MVS and AES games that I traded with a fellow collector for a lot of PlayStation games and some other stuff. First up are the MVS games. I don't have an MVS arcade cabinet anymore, so these will all go for sale, but I do have something else which I'll show you later. Most of these are Japanese, and the original owner or the previous owner used a pen to write the names of the games on them. Makes it easy to recognize what game it is, but yeah, it does hurt the value in my opinion. So this one is The Last Blade, and if I was going to decipher that from all those Japanese drawings, I would never find out. This is Samurai Spirits 1, in the West known as Samurai Showdown. This is Puzzle the Pawn 3. King of Fighters 99. I'm not going to zoom in on all of those because all those Japanese signs won't make any sense to you either. King of Fighters 2002. Could have guessed that with the 2002 on the rim. Samurai Showdown 4, or Samurai Spirits 4 actually. Samurai Spirits 3. Puzzle the Pawn. Well, you can decipher that one. This is Real Bout Fatal Fury Special. Metal Slug 2. SNK vs Capcom SVC Chaos, and this is a later release, I think, because it's a really different cartridge. It's also supposedly a Giga ROM, which makes it have more memory. And the last one is Fatal Fury 3. So that was it for the MVS. I'm gonna switch now to the AES, but before I show you the AES, I do got something here which helps me play MVS games. This is a Neo Super MVS Converter Part 2 or version 2. This is a converter for your AES so you can play MVS games, and even though I'm going to sell all the MVS games, I'm still keeping this one. Supposedly the best converter you can have. There, you put in the game. Simple converter, nothing special about it. And it also comes with a driver disc. Not sure what kind of driver I could use with that, but it's in there, so it probably does have a purpose. And I'm keeping that one in order to be able to play this game. This is a multi-game 161 in 1, Series 1, so there's probably more of these out there. And this is a multi-cartridge, like I know from the NES, but I didn't know there were also Neo Geo versions of this. And it also came with a big sticker, and on the sticker you see which games are on the cartridge. Let's get a zoom on that. My camera is being annoying. Sorry for that. There we go. King of Fighters, a whole lot of different versions. Rage of Dragons, Metal Slug, Samurai Showdown, Matrimony, Sengoku, Karnov, blah blah. Whole lot of games. I'm actually wondering if, like the NES pirates, these are cut up versions of the games or different versions. If these are complete versions, full versions, this cartridge has to have a shitload of RAM. There's Kizuna Encounter, also known as the most rare European game for the AES. If you have that one, it's worth, I believe, near 20k. So that's quite an expensive game. So that was it for the MVS. Now let's get to the AES. Before I show you the AES stuff, there's one thing that isn't AES or MVS. That's this Neo Geo CD joystick controller, complete in the box in absolute great condition. I'm not going to keep this. I don't have a Neo Geo CD, and even though it probably works on the AES, not 100% sure actually, but I have a bunch of AES controllers and those are so awesome I don't need a different controller. So AES games, these are all Japanese, and these are all going to be for sale or for trade if you're interested. I either already have the American version, or I want the American version, or the game is shitty. But mostly I just want the American version. This is Samurai Spirits 3, also known as Samurai Showdown 3. I'm going to show you the back of the box to see what kind of gameplay it is. This is a fighting game, especially a weapons fighting game. And this is one of those clamshell games. It doesn't come with the normal box or the standard box that came out in the beginning of the AES. There's the manual, this is the cartridge, huge cartridge, such as every AES game of course. Then there's Cyberlip, and this is the rare cardboard box version. There's no normal box inside. This is just a plastic tray and the cartridge and its manual, and I'm not going to remove that on video because removing the tray is really difficult without damaging it, and I'm just going to show you the back of the box, and you'll have to do with that. This is a kind of Contra game, and it's quite fun. I tried it out yesterday, and it's quite a good game. I like it. I want the American version, but there is also a normal box version for the Japanese one. King of Fighters 96, again, clamshell case. You all know what King of Fighters is, I'm just going to show you anyway. It's a fighting game, of course, King of Fighters. Kind of gives it away, huh? Cartridge. Some of these Japanese games have these warning stickers, and I have no clue what the warning is because it's in Japanese, but they seem to pop up on more different games, so it's probably one general warning. Then, Galaxy Fight Universal Warriors. This is also a fighting game, and I tried this out and I wasn't really too enthusiastic about it. Plays quite slow, graphics aren't that good, so not gonna keep that one, and for the collection I want the American one. There's the manual, cartridge, and that was it. Then World Heroes 2 Jet. I see it more often that Japanese games use the sub-word jet. I'm not quite sure what they mean with it. Probably one of you does, so please reply in the comments with what the jet adverb means. Also a fighting game. Quite a lot of fighting games came out on the Neo Geo. It's of course an arcade machine, and fighters were popular in the arcades in the 90s, and of course still are. Fighting games are one of the most fun games to play in the arcade. Another fighting game, Art of Fighting, which has a really cool artwork in my opinion. The dragon meets the tiger, and the text on the front is really strange. Anybody knows nothing about this power. There was a dragon, there was a tiger, they were the strongest in the world. But that first sentence, anybody knows nothing about this power. Well, English is not my first language, but I am kinda sure that's not a correct sentence. So, King of Art of Fighting, by the way. Kind of rip-off of the first Street Fighter games. It's not my favorite fighting series. Then we have King of Fighters 94, 3 vs 3. Not sure if this is the first game or one of the first games that used this 3 vs 3 like you saw later in the Marvel vs. Capcom series, etc. I really like that tag play, especially in the Marvel games where you can use assist attacks. But King of Fighters never really did it for me. Then Art of Fighting 2, again the dragon and the tiger, and now the text is stronger, badder, you can't afford to miss it, stronger, badder and ready to kick butt. The terrible twosome are back in the fight of their lives. So that means trouble. Let's show you the manual. There it is, upside down. And the back of the box, you can see it's again a fighting game. And for a change of pace, another fighting game, Samurai Spirits 2 or Samurai Showdown 2. I actually had Samurai Showdown 5 on my MVS, which was the first MVS game I had, and that's really a great fighting game. So I'm trying to get the Samurai Showdown set complete, but again not the Japanese Samurai Spirits versions. One thing with these AES games, the plastic inlay that you see here is really brittle. And you can see over here that it got damaged just by using it. And that's one of the main problems with these AES games. Getting those inlays in a good condition and keeping them in that condition is really hard. World Heroes 2. So actually World Heroes 2 Jet we already saw. This is World Heroes 2. Again, not sure what the Jet extra means. But as for instance in the Street Fighter series you have a lot of addendums which mean nothing, like the AEX, the EX, the Alpha, the whatever. Samurai Spirits 1, so that's part 1, 2 and 3 in this lot. Already have this in the American version. There you go. And the back of the box. Whole lot of Japanese signs, Japanese guys fighting with swords, katanas, etc. Another copy of Samurai Showdown 2. And the last one, let me think, which was this again. Super Sidekicks 2, I believe. It's a soccer game, one of those early arcade soccer games. Totally not my kind of game. And it's a Japanese version, so again, gonna sell that and try to get an American version for myself. So that was the stuff I was gonna sell. Now for the AES games I'm keeping. Another big pile of AES games, and these are the ones I'm keeping. These are either good games, expensive games, or just American games that I didn't have. So this one is Blues Journey, which is a platforming game, and it's quite a strange platforming game. I already had it on the MVS when I had my NVS. It's not a good platform in my opinion. You're a little guy and you have to hit stuff with a flower, pick them up, throw them away, and basically that's it. Doesn't make a lot of sense. There's the manual. It has a strange blue color setting. I'm not sure if the manual is faded or it's supposed to be that way. Haven't looked that up yet. Then Thrash Rally. And this is actually quite a fun racer. It's one of those top-down racing games like RC Pro-Am or Super Off-Road on the NES. And it has something really cool which I'll show you guys. Let's see if you can get a focus on the video, on the game. There you see the little car top-down. The thing is, the AES cannot let you play this two-player at once. Because, like in micro machines, it would have to be a knockout. And this is not about knockout, this is about the racing. So what they did to let you play this with two people is they put a little jack plug on the top here. See if you can get that focused. No, can't. Too much on the background. And you have to put a link cable in there, take two AESs, two TVs, two people playing, then link the cartridges together, and then you can play against each other. So I'm not sure if anyone ever did that, but it's a really cool system. Then Sengoku. It's a really cowboy guy and a space ninja or something like that. I tried this out and it's a really slow beat 'em up game. And it didn't really make sense in the beginning. Not sure if you've played the start, but you keep getting zoomed up and zoomed down and no clue what I was doing. Comes with the manual, of course. And actually part 2 and part 3 of Sengoku are quite the rarities. NAM 1975, and there's a really cool story about this one. As you can see over here, there's a black dot or a black spot, and when I let this light shine on it like this, you see that the black is on the box and not on the inlay itself. But when we check out the cartridge, it has it as well, but it's on the cartridge here. Same goes for the manual. There you see the black on the manual. And this is actually censorship. Because when this game got ported to Europe or sent to Europe, it was supposedly too risky for some countries and they had to censor it. So what they did is just take a black filled pen or adding pen or what you want to call it, permanent marker, and they just blacked out her cleavage and her leg. This is her leg over here, this is her cleavage. It's not really shocking or anything, but it's a really cool story. And actually the non-censored versions are quite hard to find and are actually worth a premium. So this is a shooter kind of comparable to either Wild Guns or Operation Wolf, but it's hard. It is hard. I didn't get past the first 5 minutes or something. Alpha Mission 2, really cool shoot 'em up, one of my favorite games in this lot. It's only 47 megs, so that's not a big game, but it doesn't need to be a big game to be a great game. Space shooter, shoot 'em up, and check out the gameplay on this one on YouTube, it's really worth it. It's also not really expensive, so if you have an AES, this is definitely a must-have for your collection in my opinion, if you like games like Gradius, R-Type, etc. Then Miracle Adventure. This is a Japanese only game and I'm keeping this one because it's A, a great game, and B, it didn't get an American release. It's kind of comparable to Metal Slug, but only bigger sprites and more colorful. You're either one of the two guys, you can play this with two people of course, and you go from left to right killing stuff and getting power upgrades, etc. Really cool game, check out the video if you want to see how this one plays. Then we have Joy Joy Kid, which is also a cardboard box version. Again, the cardboard box versions are quite the rarities usually. It's one of the earlier games with only 22 megs, and it's basically a battle Tetris. Haven't tried this one out to be honest, but just keeping this because it didn't get an American release. Then the Japanese version of Matrimile or Matrimele, not sure how you pronounce it, and this is really an over-the-top fighting game and it's awesome. Sorry for the glare here, can't really show you the back of the box, so I I can't like this. And you really have to see a video of this. Has amazing animations, also has great music. It's one of those gigapower ROMs, one of the later releases. Quite the rarity as well. Did get an American release, but until the time I have the American release, I will be keeping this one. Really cool game. For instance, you can play with an old guy with a walking stick, old women, a guy in a dog suit. Strange stuff, but really cool. Gen Magician Lord. This one usually got shipped with the AES. It's kind of comparable to, yeah, how do I say? It kind of made me think of Altered Beast on the Sega. It's quite a hard game too, but it's fun. One of the more common games. But even though it's common, it's got to be in your collection. Then the Super Spy. This is actually a game I didn't understand. It's a first-person adventure kind of game, and you just shoot stuff in front of you and progress, but it's really hard and doesn't really make sense. I didn't enjoy it, but since I don't have it, I'm keeping it. Ninja Combat. When games from the 90s have the word ninja in them, they're usually shitty, but this one is quite okay. It's a beat 'em up. You have some special attacks, etc. It's okay. It's not a super beat 'em up. It's not Double Dragon quality or Final Fight, but it's definitely worth trying out. Then Riding Hero, and this is actually, yeah, it's a shitty game. I'll just be honest with you. It's one of those old racers that really didn't age well. The depth of field is so low that you really have to. It's just leaning left or leaning right. That's basically the game. I didn't enjoy it. Then Baseball Stars. It's an arcade baseball game. Kind of fun to play with friends because you can really mess up with the throwing and the hitting. But again, it's not one of the best games in my opinion. It's a sports game. And the last one, Ghost Pilots, shoot 'em up, World War II style. It's a cool shoot 'em up, but it's not as good as the one I showed before, Alpha Mission 2. That one is by far my favorite at the moment. And there you see, it's complete. So that was it for my big Neo Geo find. I hope you enjoyed watching the video, and if you have any questions or any remarks, please feel free to reply. Be sure to check out my other videos, my collection videos, my weekly finds, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.